Welcome to week one of the Fantasy Football Focus. I'm John.
I'm Javelle.
And we're going to fill you in with all the guys you should start, should bench, and everything in between.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, John.
All right, so first game we're going to look at this week is Pittsburgh and Atlanta. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, low-scoring game in my opinion.
You think low scoring? I think both teams could hit 20s, which for Pittsburgh compared to last year, be a big win.
Yeah, I feel you there. We don't know who's going to start quarterback, Russ for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's still questionable, game time decision, but it probably is going to be Fields just to play it safe because you don't want to put Wilson out there. Makes it worse. He misses half the season.
Yeah, but in my opinion, if they play Justin, is it really a bad thing?
He's exciting, but he doesn't necessarily win games.
I get that.
So, like, from a personal standpoint, you play Fields today. At least give yourself an opportunity because the defense is going to be good enough.
I'm not playing either one of them.
I'm not starting either quarterback today. Okay. But as far as the team itself goes,
yes.
But I do like Freiermuth this week.
I would agree with you on that.
I like him a lot. He's a safety net. Just got the new contract. And for whatever reason, didn't use the middle of the field last year. Arthur Smith loves the middle of the field. He loves tight ends. Like, he has made some mediocre tight ends into fantasy relevant tight ends.
I agree with that. So I like him too, but I like on that side of the ball. I'm gonna go with Najee,
yeah.
Whatever his name is. You know, I'm a Browns fan, so who cares? But anyways, yeah, I like him a lot. Arthur Smith coming in as a new offensive coordinator.
He knows how to use running backs.
Yes, he loves to run the ball, especially when he's the coordinator. He ain't got nothing else to worry about. He's just worried about his offense, and I think he's going to go back to his bread and butter. I mean, look at Derrick Henry now. I think Derrick Henry starting out had a lot to owe to Arthur Smith for getting his career running like he did.
Yeah, once they figured it out in Tennessee that, hey, this guy can run the ball between the tackles, let's do that.
Yeah.
But also Jaylen Warren, I think, is still questionable for today. So he's not even going to be 100% to where Najee could see 20 to 25 carries.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that just makes his value go up.
With a decent chance at a touchdown, like, I'll take 12 to 16 points out of him all day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's probably what he ends up getting.
He might, and honestly, he might go higher than that, especially with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
If Justin Fields starts, they're running the ball.
They're running the ball a ton.
Yeah, they're going to run the ball. So. And you don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect from Atlanta's defense. Everything's new over there for me. So I wouldn't. I'm definitely staying away from Atlanta's defense. As far as Atlanta, period, I like Kyle Pitts for their offense. I love Kyle Pitts today. I think he's got a lot to prove.
Yes, a new head coach. For whatever reason, they didn't like using him as a tight end last year.
Yes.
They wanted to put him out in the slot as a receiver, and it's not his bread and butter.
It's not where he's good at. It's not where he's comfortable at. I think with Kirk Cousins, that's another upgrade for him.
Yes.
I think this is Kyle Pitts' last chance as far as
I don't know
being
about
that guy.
Last chance, but he's got to figure it out somewhat this year to get back to being relevant. Otherwise, they will find another guy to at least come in to compete.
I think if he doesn't be Kyle Pitts that people expected him to do this year, I think he's on the trading block and he's going to be looking at a new scenery like next year.
Definitely a possibility.
Just because it's a new head coach, he didn't draft him,
right?
He was forced to have him, and he hasn't been doing well since he's been in the league, in my eyes.
Outside of his rookie year, he's been dealing with injuries and just lack of usage.
Yeah, for sure. I
want to say, is there anybody you don't like in this game?
Anybody that I don't like? Like I said, I don't like Atlanta's defense at all. I wouldn't say I don't like anybody. It's just a toss-up game for me.
Gotcha. So you're kind of starting the guys you know.
Yeah. If I had to pick somebody from both of these teams, I would go with Kyle Pitts and Harris.
Start.
For sure,
okay.
To start.
Like me, I'm not a big London fan in this game, and it's not necessarily because of London. It's going to be the guy that's going to be shadowing him all game. Like Joey Porter Jr. as a rookie, kind of balled out.
He did. He surprised a lot of people.
He's big, he's physical, and he's not going to back down from Drake London.
He's not. He's a little chaotic, though. He gets a little chaotic.
Can be, but he's building that reputation of becoming like a legit number one corner.
And that's not what
who isn't afraid to attack.
Okay.
Like you look at last year, his instincts were solid. And he wasn't afraid to go up against number one receivers last year, and he fared well. He fared really well.
Yeah, he's very physical DB.
Yeah, but like outside of this week, like I like London as a whole for this year because it gives Cousins a big legit number one receiver that he was used to in Minnesota and even back in Washington.
Yeah, I am different from you on this game. I definitely think Drake gets in. I think he gets a touchdown. I think he gets one tutty. I think Kirk Cousins is really going to change. Kirk Cousins is going to change that offense a lot, man.
Oh, definitely. It can't get worse. They had no quarterback production the last 2 years in that offense.
The three-headed monster that we thought was going to be the three-headed monster in that last year with Robinson, Pitts, and London.
Yeah.
I think that they start to develop into that.
I think you see it this year, but there's going to be some growing pains within the offense philosophy that they're bringing in.
Yeah, for sure. I like Drake. I like Kirk Cousins just because it is a 1:00 game.
Well, 1:00 Kirk's pretty
you know
good,
what
but
I'm saying?
He is coming off the ACL.
Yes, true. Very true. But if anybody's going to do it, man, I think he's one of the top ones that's going to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. That's what I would say. That's what I would take away from that game. So we're pretty much indifferent on Drake London, but I think we agree on
the other guys, Freiermuth and Najee. Yeah.
So we like the tight ends, and then we like Harris. So pretty good, solid there.
Okay.
You want to get into Arizona and Buffalo?
Absolutely.
Oh man, this one is a good one.
It should be high scoring. Should be. Like if you have either defense, would not touch him this week.
I agree with that. Totally. I agree with that. I think Kyler Murray, it's his time. You know, when he came back last year, he shocked a lot of people.
He came back midseason from the injury, and now he's had like kind of a full off season to rehab it. You look at the emergence of McBride, you look at the additions of Marvin Harrison Jr., and they brought in Trey Benson as well.
Yeah, and then James Conner.
James Conner's a touchdown machine.
Like, James Conner is going to be James Conner.
Yeah,
man. I think Arizona's they're gonna play ball a little bit this year. You know, definitely going to be better than last year. Everything's going to depend on health. Yep. Obviously,
they kind of retooled that defense a little bit too.
Yeah,
they brought in some guys that aren't like any big names, but it's going to be guys that are just coming into work.
Yeah. I think Kyler's gonna run a lot, man. I think he's gonna run a lot. He's gonna look for Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Maserati Marv, as some people like to call him. I think he might have a breakout year with Kyler, man, because Kyler likes to do untimed things. He likes to move around a bunch, and then Marv's used to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He really is. I mean,
especially with Stroud. I don't know how much he was with was the guy from
McCord.
Yeah, McCord.
I mean, he had to improvise a little bit, but like Stroud was a pocket passer. He just ran the routes, boom, ball was there.
Yeah.
So like he had that benefit his sophomore year. But like with Murray's going to be able to kind of do stuff on his own, and then Marvin's good enough to get open.
Right. So who do you not like? You just don't like Buffalo's defense?
I don't like Buffalo's defense. I don't like Arizona. Nobody's starting Arizona's defense today, regardless.
That's not even an option.
But Khalil Shakir is probably going to be Allen's number one receiver this year.
Ooh, I like this.
If you look at the receivers they have there, he has the best rapport with Allen. Like he's been there the last 2 years.
Okay.
You look at when Diggs kind of was getting phased out of the offense, Shakir was getting phased in a big way.
With Gabe Davis, though, a lot of people, I think that's going to be a big loss for Buffalo.
Oh, I agree, but you got Davis he'd have a good game, a really good game, and then gone the next 4 games. Like he'd get maybe like 10 total points in those 4 games.
Yeah,
like, it was bad.
Was Shakir that consistent though?
You go look at his last like 4 or 5 games, like he was getting 60 to 80 yards a game. Like you kind of take that, and that was as a number 3.
I think I like where you're going with it. I do like where you're going. Like he's a sleeper for sure.
Yes. Plus the team is Arizona's defense is gonna be focused on Kincaid and Cook.
Okay.
So Shakir is going to see a lot of one-on-ones. He's shifty enough to get open, whether it's over the middle, along the sideline, and all that, to where he should really blossom, especially in this game, to where Arizona doesn't have like really that good of corners.
Yeah.
To be able to like shut them down.
I'm with you on that. So you think Buffalo go open it up a little bit passing, or?
It's hard to say because without Diggs there, well, before Diggs got there, the 2 years, Allen was mediocre at best. Obviously, he's grown a bunch, but like you just don't really know.
He was more running.
Yeah,
his passing game developed
when
when Diggs got there. I agree with that.
So it's hard to say what the offense is going to be. I think it's going to be good because even the threat of Allen running is going to open up stuff on the outside as well. But like, I think Shakir is kind of a safe bet if you need that flex spot today.
Mm-hmm. So, I like that. Like I said, I think he could be a good sleeper. I mean, he's definitely the gamble. Yeah. He's the gamble of the team. He's somebody that can either pay off big time or he gives you a big 2 points. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be that type of thing. I think the most consistent guy on that team, on Buffalo team this year, will be James Cook.
Oh, for sure. Just because he's going to get touched the ball more than anybody.
And I get that everybody, if you got James Cook, you're going to start him. But I just, with Diggs leaving, I just want to get into Buffalo's offense. When Diggs leaving, I think that kind of defaults them back to how Buffalo was ran before.
Correct.
And you saw it once they fired Dorsey. Yeah. They started running the ball more. I think Allen is going to get back to running the ball more because which should be nerve-wracking for Buffalo fans. Very. But if anybody can take the blows, it's Josh Allen. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. So, so we agree upon pretty much everything on that game. Maybe not Kyler, where you're probably a little more upper.
I like Kyler, but it's more so kind of want to wait and see because it's new head coach as well. Yep.
No worries. All right.
But Tennessee, Chicago is next. This is an interesting one.
Chi-Town. Okay.
We got two young quarterbacks looking to jumpstart their teams. Chicago added all these weapons. Tennessee kind of bulked up front. Plus, they brought in Pollard, and they're trying to give Levis some options as well. To really kind of just like make that jump in the year 2.
So who you feeling?
I love DJ Moore. Like I've been a DJ Moore fan ever since he came into the league. Like, dude has just been the model of consistency, and that was with bad quarterbacks.
Very true.
He kind of had like that big year last year with Justin Fields, and he has a better quarterback this year than what Fields has ever been.
Caleb is. I agree. I agree. If Caleb is who we think Caleb can be.
Oh, that's who he is. Like
right now, he's a question mark for me. He's a question mark for me. Okay. If this first game we see a lot from Caleb because we talked. I think we talked a little bit about this before the show. That offense, Chicago's offense, is going to look totally different. Totally different. You just gave Caleb all of these weapons, and I think the one that's being slept on the most is Swift. And I didn't bring this up because I was saving it for this moment, bro. I think Swift is the biggest addition to Chicago's offense because Swift is a catching running back.
Okay, so see, he's a guy I don't like this week.
Wow.
So Tennessee is notoriously good for stopping the run.
Oh.
And if you take away his season from Philly, which congratulations, that offensive line they had and all that in Philly, like any running back can succeed. Look at Barkley.
Yes, true.
Not that Barkley is any running back, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. That's the issue. So, and I think you could tell what the focus is. They want to throw the absolute shit out of the ball.
And that's where he comes in perfectly. You said that they're not going to run the ball a bunch. And Swift's not going to hold up if he has to run the ball 20 times a game. That's not his type of game. Yeah. He's more of a McCaffrey finesse.
But arguably Swift is number 5 option in the passing game.
He is, but as a rookie quarterback, you're going to see a lot of blitzes today. Oh, and you're going to see a lot of blitzes. Where's your dump offs? Tight ends and running backs.
Where you could see Kmet have a good game.
Tight ends and running backs.
And DJ Moore is that intermediate. He's going to end up, it's just catch it and go. Yeah. That's his game. So it's a mixed bag from that offense. But I want to see a bloom.
Yeah, me too. I'm with that.
Today's a big test because Tennessee does have a good defense. Yes. They actually have a really good defense heading into this year.
They do. I like their defense. Honestly, let's put it this way. I like Tennessee as a whole. I think they finish not last in the South. I know we're talking about them. I think they get the third slot in the South.
Probably.
Because the addition, and no, I mean, I'm a Browns fan, so I know this by subtraction because we lost Bill Callahan to them because his son is coaching over there. His son's the head coach. He got hired as head coach. Bill Callahan is going to get that offensive line together, bro.
Yes.
That's going to be a huge loss for the Browns this year.
Huge loss for us, man. A huge loss. I think we end up figuring out. We'll get into that game, but as far as Tennessee, I think it's a major game. And then their running back that they got, Pollard.
See, I'm not a Pollard guy.
Dude, we're just disagreeing on all our running backs.
So Pollard as the guy in Dallas with a good offensive line that was there couldn't hold up. Like, all right, so he's another one. He is not built to tote the ball 20 times a game.
And I don't see them putting him in that situation.
I don't think they do either. But Pollard probably is going to go. He's going to be worse than what his ADP suggests.
You think so?
Because I believe Spears is better.
Do you think Tennessee will give Spears enough looks to get there, or do you think it's going to be there by default because Pollard get hurt?
Could be Pollard getting hurt if he touches the ball too much, but I think you see a 60-40 split with Spears. Not that that's a bad thing, because I feel like Pollard with 10 to 15 touches a game can be explosive. Mm-hmm. But if he's got to run the ball 20 times plus potentially 5 looks out of the passing game, he's going to wear down to where you might not have him the second half of the year.
And that'll hurt Tennessee a lot. That would, because I'm high on Pollard. I'm high on running backs that get a different change of scenery, and I think I see their offense blossoming in a type of.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, true. I see that, but another guy, like I said, the offense is blossoming into something that it wasn't before. Tennessee was more run heavy offense last year, and I think now they're about to start trying to pass and open it up, which is why they signed the guy. Yes, the guy I love today in this game is Wrigley. I think he didn't get enough credit in Jacksonville.
No, so the problem in Jacksonville was they didn't know how to use him. They didn't use him correctly.
Yes.
So Tennessee's going to use him the right way.
They signed him to a huge
big
contract.
Of a deal? Yeah,
they're going to
use him the right way.
At that age, they're going to make him earn every penny of that.
Because it was right around $24 million a year.
And he's the same as he was the highest paid receiver for a minute until who got paid?
No, he wasn't the highest. Tyreek's was up there.
Didn't he get paid after?
Yeah, he got paid after, but it was only 20. It's either 21 or 24 million a year, which a lot of money.
I know that screwed Amari Cooper. I know that could screw Amari Cooper because at that type of age, that's why Amari. Again, we can get into this later,
but that's the last big contract receivers are going to get at that age. So
yes,
it worked out well that 1 year gamble.
Yeah. I like Wrigley, though. I think Wrigley, I've always liked Wrigley. I think he's fast. I think he can be consistent. I think starting out with Jacksonville, he was the number one, and then they wanted to start doing other things.
But they had so many issues with the receivers staying healthy last year. Yeah. It just drove all the coverage to him.
Wrigley should have a breakout year, and I like him in this game.
I will say this. If you need receiver help, go get Ridley. He's going to end up probably being top 15 by the end of the year.
For sure. And he might sleep in the top, depending on quarterback play.
I don't think top 10. There's just too many good receivers, but top
depending
15
on quarterback
is not
play.
Out of
depending on quarterback
Levis can't be a turnover machine.
Yeah, if Levis is not good, then everything that we said just went out the window.
Correct. All right, New England and Cincinnati is next. Cincinnati's big favorites in this game too, but Higgins is doubtful. Chase is questionable with a illness, aka didn't do anything for the past month because of the contract issues.
It's Jamar Chase though. Come on, man.
He's ready.
Jamar Chase basically sat out his whole junior season of college.
Yeah, because the COVID year.
Yeah,
and it worked out well.
Then he came back. He got drafted to Cincinnati. Yeah. Him and Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl that year. I'm not worried about you. Jamar Chase might look a little sloppy.
Gonna be a little rusty because you're looking at a month before the season, not the year before. Then you have a whole off season.
He could be sloppy, but at the honestly the Pacers defense should be a little bit better than they were last year.
It's gonna be solid. Well,
I like the addition of Mayo, period. And he's a defensive-minded guy. So
arguably, if you didn't want to start Chase today just to be safe, whether he's on a play count or whatever, you also got to remember Christian Gonzalez is back. And that dude was shutting down everybody he was covering
number
last year.
One receiver. Everyone.
the kid is 6'4", 217, 220. Like, he's a big physical corner that is not going to
Tyreek game was insane for me. Like,
he shut down Tyreek.
And I'm like, dude, who is this guy? Tyreek Hill? Like, dude, this guy is insanely fast. He's putting up numbers, and then I was one of the guys. I was one of the guys that's like, all right, it's Patriots. It's Miami. It's Tyreek's about to have a day.
I think he went for like 30 yards that game.
What? I was like, so mad.
It was atrocious.
Christian Gonzalez said, not on my
Gonzalez
account.
Is that dude.
So I'm with you on that.
So who do you like in this game?
Like I said, I think Jamar might be a little sloppy, but if you got Jamar and you have
you're probably gonna play him.
Yeah, but if you don't, if it's some reason you don't want to play Jamar, this is the week not to play him.
Correct, because you're playing him. They're playing the next 16 games,
and it's week 1, and it's like, so you want to see what all your other receivers like say you got Jamar Chase and then rookie receiver.
Essentially, if you're comfortable with another matchup where you can slot him in,
yes,
absolutely,
yes, and then you say you got a flex play that you can put as your receiver 2, and you can flex somebody else, big.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that. Knock that out. But I love Stevenson today.
Oh, I see. I've been a Ramondre fan since he came out. Like, the guy just works.
It's lunch pail. I go to work. And I go home.
And he is one of the better ball catchers out of the backfield in the league that nobody talks about.
He is slept on in the pass catching.
Like, he just so reliable out of the backfield.
And we don't know what to expect from this Patriots offense.
I do. It's Brissett. It's not going to be anything flashy, but he's just going to.
Yeah, as far as who's going to step up, let's put it that way. We don't know who's going to step up. So you're going to give the ball to the most consistent player.
Ramondre. I think they got Hunter Henry at tight end still.
Yeah, which if you're passing it, Hunter Henry could have a good day. They're starting, like you said, Jacoby, and Jacoby loved David Njoku when he was with the Browns.
Yes.
So Hunter Henry, he is a viable option at tight end today, guys. Hunter Henry is a viable option today.
Not very viable option for the Patriots. It's just any of the receivers, like,
at all.
They're not going to be highly ranked this week, anyways. But until they can figure out who the number 1 is going to be, just stay away.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta wait and see. If you got any Patriots receiver, just wait and see, man. Somebody might blossom, or it's just not gonna look great at all.
Right. And this is a game I could see Bengals winning 17-13, 17-16, something like that.
Game
to where I love Cincinnati's defense.
I'm not so high on Cincinnati's defense as you are.
Ooh, I think sacks are gonna come.
I think the subtraction of DJ Reader in the middle of that defense is going to hurt incredibly, bro. And that's why I'm so high on Stevenson. DJ Reader was the only defensive tackle in the league that I saw consistently stop Nick Chubb. Consistently. Every play. And it's like, bro, you're thinking Nick Chubb's going to break something. It's like, Nick Chubb's going to, no. This guy, Reader, bro,
would just reach out and grab him and stop him.
He was insanely good, bro.
I like DJ Reader as a player.
The subtraction of that in the middle of their defense, I think, is going to hurt more than people think.
But they had the next guy lined up. I can't think of who it is, but they had that next guy lined up. So they were comfortable letting Reader go because of who they had,
and because they didn't want to pay Reader.
Well, that's
And the owners
he got paid this
offseason. So I like Stevenson just for that main point. You're high on their defense. Explain why you're so high on them.
You look at the edge guys. Both are phenomenal off the edge. Hendrickson and I can't think of the other guy. Former Buckeye. I can't think of his name.
I know who you're talking about. Henderson. No,
it's Hendrickson. I can't think of it
because he's an old States. It's this is gonna eat me up. Go ahead, finish it.
But they both come off heavy and hard off the edge. They contain everything too, so you can't really expect Stevenson to bounce stuff outside.
No, I never really seen Stevenson as an outside bouncer.
No.
I see he's an inside.
He can go off, he's actually really good off tackle, but you're not necessarily going to see that today.
We're indifferent. We're indifferent,
which it's not a bad thing
at all. That makes us so. All right, let's break down this next one. And man, this guy. You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
You want to go? All right. Listen, I got this guy, and it's an obvious pick today, obviously, but I got this guy as my number 1 quarterback this fantasy season, CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud will be the number 1 fantasy quarterback this season. Hey, y'all heard it here first, guys. It's fantasy focus, all right? CJ Stroud will be the number 1 fantasy quarterback. When it's all said and done. I love CJ Stroud today. I love CJ Stroud next week. I love CJ Stroud every week.
Sophomore slumps are a real thing.
Oh, I'm not trying to hear it.
And the offseason Super Bowl champs, which is what the Texans were this past year, how often do you see that pay off?
They're playing in the South.
Oh, have you not realized how good that South has gotten?
Everybody said that last year with Jacksonville. Jacksonville fell off towards the end of the season.
Injuries were crazy for them last year.
Injuries not going to happen again this year. You never know.
But do they happen for the Texans?
They did last year, and CJ Stroud still showed up. CJ Stroud missed the game. He didn't play against the Browns, and then he went in that playoff game and ate the number 1 defense up, bro.
That defense had 2 pick sixes.
That is true. That is true. But how many, like we talked about earlier, Nico Collins went nuts on the Browns defense, bro.
But sophomore slumps are a real thing.
I hear you on that, but I'm not trying to hear you on that. I hear you, but I'm not trying to hear it, dude. CJ Stroud is I think he is poised for greatness. I hear you. The sophomore slump, a lot of people are going to try to figure him out. They think they got him figured out. There's a
lot of film on what he does.
Yes, there's a lot of tape on there.
Teams are going to adjust.
I think that, but not every quarterback has a sophomore slump. You know what I'm saying?
I fully agree, but
you think he's gonna have one?
I think the expectations are too big right now. Like you went like they're through the roof. Like
they are.
if you look back at the draft time on Keep Trade Cut, which I don't really like using as a comparison for players, he was a number 1 player for Dynasty.
And
he's ahead of Mahomes, he's ahead of Allen.
It's Dynasty, bro. He's younger out of all of them.
Oh, I'm fully aware, but Mahomes is only like 27.
I understand that, but okay. I get what you're saying.
He doesn't have the rushing upside.
He shouldn't be ahead of Mahomes. Everybody else, I give you. He's ahead of everybody else.
Oof.
He's in Dynasty. He's ahead of everybody else in Dynasty, bro.
So everybody,
unless you want to say Caleb Williams, unless you're sold.
I got Williams ahead of him. I think Williams is
so you're super sold on Williams. Like you're putting a bunch of stock in Williams. Okay, and that's the only way you can have him.
It's who he has around him too. Williams is set up really nice to just kind of take off.
Yeah, and CJ made people last year.
I don't know about that.
Tank Dell. Tank Dell.
Tank Dell looked like what he looked at Houston. It's the exact same player we saw at Houston.
If Tank Dell gets drafted anywhere else,
he's probably not that good.
Thank you. And the Texans wasn't supposed to be good.
Oh, I don't disagree. Well, it's the environment the head coach brings on. Like
what we saw in So Detroit. Does that change? Does that give the sophomore slumps with head coaches happen too?
Hard to say. I'd actually have to look that up.
Okay. This is good. Hold on. This is good because you just said the environment that DeMeco Ryans brings in, right? It's like rejuvenating, right? Like it's not gonna change. So if he's not gonna have a sophomore slump, he ain't gonna let Stroud have a sophomore slump.
All right, so the Texans could end up winning 11 or 12 games.
They win the South
and still not win the South,
but they win the South. You like Jacksonville? Because that's the only I will have that discussion with you later on Jacksonville.
I do like Jacksonville.
Okay,
I'll
give you that.
I'd pick Houston to win the South. Like it's just smart pick, safe pick, however you want to put it.
Yeah, you're a little risky.
I don't think they have as clear as a path as a lot of people would like to believe.
No,
that division's gonna be a fun one to watch because I think you have 4 really young teams that are gonna be competitive week in, week out.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the Colts I think the Colts are a little bit better than last year. I think the injury to Richardson, which we can get into this.
Back.
We can get and we can step into this since we're bringing him up. But Richardson, the subtraction of Richardson last year hurt him coming into this year. I think last year was supposed to be his. I'm getting used to the NFL. Like nobody expects us to do anything.
And oddly enough, that injury might have been the best thing because even though you could kind of see him really start to like figure it out, he was able to take a step back, watch from the sidelines, and be able to like mentally like learn the NFL.
Yeah. Yep. So how we feeling about Anthony Richardson today?
I'm not big on him today. I want to see how he comes back from the injury.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
So if you have like another option, like if you took Richardson, odds are you probably took another quarterback, kind of like right around like rounds 10 or 11.
He's your quarterback
for your
too.
backup just in case. So like say you have like a Jared Goff or Kirk Cousins, like I'd be more prone to start them over Richardson today.
And a 2 quarterback league, would you put Richardson as your quarterback too?
Absolutely. Like yeah, you have to in a super flex.
You like him?
I
that much?
You have to. I mean, there's going to be 24 quarterbacks starting.
True.
So if he's not in your top 24, you're starting him. But in a single quarterback league, he's not a shoe-in start.
No. I don't. I'm high on Houston this year, so I don't like him at all. Which I don't like him, but I like his main receiver today. Pittman. I love Pittman today. I feel like Pittman is continuously to be in that quiet breakout star receiver in this league.
Especially with Downs being already ruled out.
Yes.
Pierce is dealing with an injury. I think he's questionable.
And I honestly don't even know who the tight ends over there.
I don't even know. Like,
so who are else?
They don't
are
have
we?
a viable.
Yeah.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Oh yeah, the running back, obviously. But with that, so all your main focus is on JT. As your Houston, you're coming into this.
The focus is on AR.
You think so? You think they're?
It's terrifying.
But unknown.
Even
I don't
back
think
from
it's that terrifying. I don't think he's. I mean, you think Houston should be shaking about this guy?
He's 6'5", 240, and he can run a 4.
I don't care what he's running,
but like. But you're not going to necessarily see the stack boxes against Taylor. They're going to be concerned about not letting Richardson just go off on him on the ground.
So you're still stacking the box then, because you're worried about the running back, and you're worried about the quarterback running. You ain't worried about the pass then, and that's where Pittman comes in.
And that's why I kind of like Pittman, assuming the balls get there on target.
I think, like I said, in my eyes, I think Houston. And I will take what you said too. I think they really focus on the run from quarterback and running back. So they stack the box, and I think Pittman has a lot of one-on-ones that he's going to win.
It's fair. It's like, yeah.
I take Houston to win this game, but I think it's a closer game than a lot of people think. I think Pittman he could get 2 tutties today.
I mean, I don't hate it.
I think he could get 2 tutties
today. And I think it's because he takes one of them on a short pass and just going down the sideline.
I think it's a goal line one. I think when they're close to the goal line.
Yeah, like a back corner.
Yep. I think he gets one there, and I think he gets one off a yak.
Okay.
So
I want to say, up next is honestly my most anticipated game of the week. It's Jacksonville and Miami. So Miami typically gets off to insanely hot starts.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville, like they're looking to bounce back from what was considered a down year because of the hype that was surrounding them.
Going into it, yeah.
But you get Christian Kirk back, who Lawrence loves.
Yeah,
like,
Lawrence.
When Kirk plays like that offense, it's different. I don't know why. It's just different.
You're right, because that's why I felt like Wrigley got slighted last year, because he was the guy, and then Kirk started emerging as the guy, and then it was like, all right, Kirk.
I wouldn't even say slided. Just Christian Kirk was in and out of the lineup all throughout the year last year.
Yeah, but you brought Wrigley in to be your number one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then when Kirk plays, it's like, nope, Kirk. Yeah. You know, so I think that's why I think Wrigley has a big year coming. So this game, I'm just gonna let you completely take over. I'm so up in the air on this game.
I actually like Taylor or Lawrence in this game.
Okay,
like I like him a lot. I think he does bounce back, and I honestly look for Evan Ingram to have a big game too.
Okay. That's a good sleeper tight end. I didn't, well, in my eyes, because I didn't think about.
Wouldn't say he's a sleeper. He's like right around like the 6 to 8 range as far as tight ends go. But like the dude, just if you look at his last 2 years, like he's been essentially a top 5 tight end the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and I think like in standard scoring last year he was 3 or 4.
Okay.
So like he
had some injuries last year, though, or was that his year before that?
It was a couple years ago, but he still caught a ton of passes. He catches a ton of passes. He gets roughly 6 to 8 touchdowns a year, which for a tight end, you love it.
Yes, I mean, now thinking about the game, yeah, I'm probably with you on that. They got Ramsey over there in Miami. I think Ramsey just got paid again, which sometimes hurts a guy, but sometimes rejuvenates a guy. Like, yep, I just got paid, and I'm about to show y'all why I got paid. And I think Ramsey is that guy. Is like, hey, I got paid, and I'm gonna show y'all why I got paid again. I'm still one of the best to ever do this, and I think he shuts your Kirk guy down today, and I think that leaves open for your tight end Evan Ingram
and Eaton out of the backfield.
Yes.
But
that's a lot of people not talking about
an absolute lock of the day.
Who?
Tyreek Hill's going off for 120 and a touchdown at least.
At least. I mean, that's why I'm so open. I couldn't pick Tyreek.
If not 2 touchdowns. If you have Tyreek, you're starting him. There's no doubt about that. But for like the daily fantasy, spend the money on him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he goes off in week 1 every single year. It's
Tyreek show, bro. It's a Tyreek show. Tua knows where to go get paid. You know what I'm saying? Tua gets paid when Tyreek does good.
Yeah.
So, and Tua got paid. I think if Tyreek never finds his way to Miami, I don't think Tua gets paid because I don't think he has Waddle's not a number one.
Well, Waddle was good before Tyreek.
He was, but he's not a number one.
He's a 1.5. Like, so like he's kind of that tweener 1-2.
1B.
But
when you got Tyreek there, it opened everything up.
Tua had a really good year the year before Tyreek got there. Tyreek just elevated Tua's game even more so.
You opened up the offense completely.
Yes.
You opened up the offense completely, which now I think, which is Waddle is good at. It's all his underneath stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Waddle's so good at, he's so good at finding space.
Yes.
Like, to where it just get him in space and he can just take off.
So, I mean, I guess now that we're talking about it, I like Waddle. You know what I'm saying? If you have to, like in daily fantasy, if you're not trying to spend that much on Tyreek, I would spend money on the Waddle.
You can look at Waddle because Jacksonville's number 2 corner is just
a corner that's out there.
He's just a corner.
He's just a corner out there.
He's a jag. He's just a guy that can easily get burned, especially by they have 2 guys with elite speed.
Yeah. Well, I think we're good on that game.
Yeah.
Carolina and New Orleans. Yeah. This is going to be another interesting conversation because I'm sold on AK and you don't like AK at all.
So Alvin Kamara is very dependent upon touchdowns. He always has been ever since he came into the league.
But he gets them.
Not last year.
But what did New Orleans do at all last year?
Not a whole lot. They were 7-10, 8-9. Yes. They were just
I think AK's only bad year was last year.
If you look at the last 3
years, maybe last 2. No, not the last 3. Because I had him that last year that you're talking about. Oh no, he went off. Bro, I love AK to be the old AK. He's done with his suspension.
I just don't think he will because he's about to be 30 or he is 30. Like he's wearing down.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because if you look at his career touches, it's not high. He just, for whatever reason, has not found a way to consistently stay on the field year in, year out.
Right. And, I mean, honestly, with the 17 schedule now, I don't think too many people are going to play 17 games.
Oh, you're going to see it a ton.
As far as quarterbacks, you already seeing quarterbacks not play 17 games.
Last year was a weird year for that.
The year before that was too, bro. I'm telling you, these quarterbacks are getting hurt more, and you're playing a lot of your backup quarterbacks nowadays too.
It just tells you backup quarterbacks are more valuable. More valuable.
Yeah, definitely more valuable.
Got some breaking news here, guys.
Uh-oh.
Dak Prescott signed a contract extension, 4 years, $240 million, highest paid player in NFL history.
Woo! Okay, Dak. I love to see a man get his money.
I mean, good for him. But the salary cap hell that team is going to be in here in a couple of years.
For sure.
Because Parsons still needs paid too, right?
Parsons, yes.
He's
yep. Next. He's the next one up.
So they just signed CD and Dak to these big contracts.
Let's do something off the market here. Since we're into this, let's just go to that game. I know it starts at 4:25. But since we're already breaking down this contract and it came in, let's just go to that. Let's jump to that game.
That
And
works.
We can go back up.
We can come back to New Orleans,
you can
Carolina.
go back up. Yeah,
So-
I think this is going to be a big game, anyways. Obviously, let's go Dogs. Hoo. I'm the big dog Browns fan. If you know me, you know I'm crazy about them.
Am I the only one that thinks Dak gave up a ton of leverage here, though?
Yes.
Like, I just
That's what
feel
I was
like
gonna
he
break
could have
into.
made so much
And
money
free
next
agency,
year.
man.
He would have reset the market.
Yes,
I,
and
I think he just did a $60 million a year though.
yeah, but he could have got more.
See, I don't think so. Like
New York,
which team?
the Giants.
I think they have the cap room too, but like,
Bro,
60 million's a ton per year.
you get that. All right, say if that offer's there, the offer's there. Whatever. All right, I'm still about to go see if I can go grab some more money from somebody else.
But you stay put. You stay within the same organization that you know. You keep when you.
That takes forever to play super games
but here's
with
the thing,
you, bro. They playing so many games
Giants,
with everybody.
The Giants don't have CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
There's very few.
Who
teams.
did they just draft? That guy that you're high on this year.
I like Neighbors, but like he's not CeeDee Lamb. Not yet, at least.
CeeDee Lamb wasn't CeeDee Lamb.
Until last year.
Sorry to interrupt
Exactly.
here, guys. What was Deshaun's guaranteed money?
230. The whole thing.
230 for,
Yeah.
Dak's $231 million guaranteed.
out of the 240?
Yeah.
Out of the 240,
No, this is funny.
231
It's
is
31.
guaranteed. Isn't that petty?
Bro, and that's what I'm about to get into here.
It's
So,
about to be as petty as Chase.
this is so funny that this happened because listen, Jerry Jones, in my eyes, Jimmy, our owner, the Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, he wants to be Jerry Jones so bad. They are
He
buddies.
does.
They are buddies. They at league meetings, they sit across from each other. They they chop it up and everything. Jerry Jones was one of the first people to call Jimmy Haslam crazy for giving Deshaun Watson, which was the whole contract fully guaranteed. He was one of the first people to call him crazy for doing that. But it doesn't matter how much you fully guarantee him because you just guaranteed your quarterback
the same amount.
the same amount.
Yeah,
Yeah, just higher, just to be like, oh, I one up you.
Yeah.
Who's the better quarterback in this game?
Dak is better than Deshaun all day.
In this game? In this game.
Oh,
I'm
They
not
both
talking
have
about
the same amount of playoff wins.
Yeah. I'm not talking about overall season. I'm talking
in
about
this
in
game?
this game, this opener that is in Cleveland. In Cleveland. Don't forget. It's in
Who will
Cleveland
be
tonight.
better? I want to say Dak is still going to probably end up playing better
No.
than Deshaun, but Deshaun has better players around. All right, so obviously
I wouldn't
CeeDee's the
pick
best-
any quarterback in the start. I wouldn't take either quarterback to start this game.
I'm probably not like I mean I don't have either in any of my leagues, so like I'm good there. But like
But if you did,
depending what like I'm starting Dak over Deshaun because of CD.
But-
even on a pitch count,
yeah, he's on a pitch count. He hasn't really revved up enough for this game, dude. Look at week 1 from Thursday night, Kansas City and all them. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City, they were humming because those guys played in the preseason.
Yeah.
They played. These guys ain't played in no preseason. CeeDee Lamb he had a whole first full week of practice.
yeah.
Like I end that secondary. The Browns secondary is
It's
the
good.
top secondary in the NFL. It is the top at secondary in the NFL, and it's proven last year. It's proven last year.
pretty good, yeah.
So we can say let's wait and see this year. I'll give you that because it's a new year.
Yeah.
But I think they got so much to prove, and I think Martin Emerson will be the one guarding CD, and Martin Emerson is the most physical corner I've seen in this league, and he slept on. And again, guys, I'm a Browns fan, so I know more about it. So if you're going to hit me with, I got another more physical corner, go ahead. But this guy, Martin Emerson,
I like him.
bro, in the joint practice with Justin Jefferson,
Oh, he didn't back down.
he shut him down. He shut him down. And again, I'm more in tune with this because that's my team, so I follow that more.
Yeah.
And it was raves over raves about Martin Emerson. I do not like CeeDee Lamb in this game, guys. I have CeeDee Lamb on think 3 of my fantasy teams, and I am thinking about sitting them.
Damn.
And that's and if I have CeeDee Lamb, he was my number 1 pick.
Yeah. Oh, if you got him, he was your number one.
You
pick.
know what I'm saying? So it's tough, man. It's tough. I love the Browns defense. I think it's the second year in Schwartz's defense. I think it can only get better from last year, and I think they got a nasty taste in their mouth after that playoff game.
And that D line's coming after him. They got 2 new starters on that offensive line for Dallas this year. No Tyron Smith.
No, they got 3.
No Biotic.
They got 3 new. They got 3 starters for week 1.
3 new starters. There you go. Even better.
And this is why.
which means Ferguson could cook today.
You think so?
I think the middle of that defense.
Let's put it. Yeah, I like Ferguson more than I like CD today.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I like Ferguson more than I like CD today.
And that's more so because the linebackers in Cleveland are still an issue.
Yeah, JOK, he is a hybrid.
Okay, but outside of JOK can't cover all 3 linebackers.
I like Jordan Hicks. I thought that was a pretty good signing.
I'm up in the air with Jordan Hicks.
It's not bad,
he's the guy I gotta wait and see.
He's 32 now.
He's gotta wait and see.
I think.
I think
he grades out pretty well every year.
Yeah, he does. He's got
middle of the road, but he'll give you.
He's got a nose for the ball. He's better in the run aspect than he is the pass aspect on that defense. But like that's what you got JOK for. They're gonna go off of each other pretty well.
And like you guys are saying, on the Island's offensive line ain't cooking. I think our offensive line ain't all the way there yet either. So we got a big question mark at left tackle. We're pretty much probably going to start Jack Conklin today. The guy hasn't played left tackle since Michigan State.
Yeah.
And he's always hurt. He just got, he got fully cleared this year. I mean, this training camp, like 2-3 weeks ago. He practiced. He's been getting moves and everything, reps at left tackle. I think that, and you got Micah Parsons. I think Micah Parsons is going to wreck.
He always starts off fast too, and then just kind of dies down.
Yes. And Deshaun Watson never has a good, he's a typically slow start guy. Anywhere he's been to Houston, he always have a slow start. So I like both defenses in this game. I do. As my sleeper in the whole game though, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
I think
it'll be interesting just because he never put it together in Denver, so maybe the change of scenery will help.
Yeah, and you're missing Dallas is missing their best DB and Bland. He's hurt.
Diggs is back. Diggs is
no. Whoa.
All right, so So the year Diggs led the NFL in interceptions, he also gave up the most yards in the league. If you look before the injury last year, he was actually shutting guys down. Guys weren't getting behind him like they were.
So he's better than Bland?
Yes.
I'll let you have it. I'm not going to argue with you.
But
I'll let you have that. Either way it goes, they're missing Bland. I'm high on him. They're missing him. I think Diggs has to watch Cooper.
Yes. So it's going to leave Jeudy open.
Jeudy.
I honestly could see Diggs just playing on one side of the field.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, just put Jeudy on the other side.
so he's going to get. He'll get Cooper or Jeudy, just depending which one is on that side.
I think Jeudy he's revving up too. I think Jeudy is poised for have a big year this year. If everything's going to for the Browns, everything falls on Deshaun. I don't want to go there. Everybody knows that. We get it. Everything falls on him. Let's just say Deshaun is mediocre and good. Mediocre good, not mediocre bad. Mediocre and good. I'm not saying he's going to be 2020 Houston.
He is average at this point. He is middle of the road quarterback.
Let's put it there for the sake of this. For the sake of this argument, because here you go with the money. Who cares about the money? It ain't your money, bro. It is not your money. I don't care how much these players get paid.
I know.
It ain't coming out of my pocket.
Yep.
If that was you go take a $230 million, even if you're done too.
Yep.
The Browns were out of it.
Yeah.
Out of it. They had to play ball and say, "Hey, I'll get you first fully guaranteed contract."
Yeah.
They get back in it. But anyways, so who are you really high on in this game?
I love Jerome Ford in this game.
I like that.
Jerome, right?
Jerome, yes, you're right. From Cincinnati. Yep.
I just feel like he gets things going for that offense today, to where he's going to open up the passing game for Deshaun, for the receivers, for Njoku as well.
And that offensive line will struggle passing wise, so I think they lean on that.
And he showed that he can hang in there, even being a little bit small of a running back. Like, he can hang in there. He can grind out.
Yeah, he got thrown in the fire last year.
Grind out first downs. He can grind out drives. Like, he's just a guy that's going to be super productive because he's going to work his tail off.
Yes, I'm with you on that. But, I like Jeudy. I do like Dak as far as getting the ball out quick because I like Ferguson. I don't like CD. I do not like CD this game.
Plus, he's got Zeke back who can catch the ball as well.
Zeke might be a little quiet sleeper,
but
man.
I don't like the running backs in this game for Dallas.
I don't either because I love that defensive line.
Just because I think they end up going with like 3 or 4 different guys in this game, where it's going to be nobody's going to consistently get the ball.
I think Jerome, go back to because we were talking about run rat. I think Jerome gets one through the air and not on the ground. I think if we're close enough, I think they put Freeman in.
Yeah.
Is it Freeman? From
Deontay
Atlanta. Yeah,
Foreman.
Foreman.
Yeah,
Foreman.
okay.
I think they put him in because he's a bigger back. Because it's the same thing from last year.
Yeah.
When they needed 1 yard or they needed a goal line, they put Kareem in.
Yeah.
Jerome Ford's not as big a back. I think it's more finesse.
Didn't Burrow sign his extension before that first game last year?
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
like
Mike Brown,
right at the
bro.
last minute,
Yeah,
right
but
before the
but
game.
He wasn't holding out either.
Yeah,
He was still
kind of
there.
interesting.
Yeah,
Wonder if the same thing will happen this year.
with Jamar.
No, with
Dak.
Dak, where he just doesn't have a good game because he was
'cause the
just
first
worried
game,
about his
yeah.
contract.
I think he just didn't have a good game because it was raining, honestly. I think that was all. And Myles Garrett was a terror that game.
Yeah.
But
I would say, so are we good on that
yeah,
game?
we good on that
All
game.
right, so you want to go back to the New
Yep.
Orleans,
We can
Carolina
go back
game?
up. Yep.
So I really like Bryce Young in this game. And I think that you see him take the steps forward this year. And to go with Bryce Young, it's because he has a actual number one this year instead of just being thrown in aging Adam Thielen. Like Deontay is going to make him look a lot better.
I'm not that high and sold on Deontay Johnson.
So and this isn't speaking just because I'm a Steelers fan. Deontay Johnson's one
You
of the
know
best,
more about him.
He's
though.
one of the best route runners in the NFL.
Okay.
Like his route running is crisp as crisp can be. It's just the drops has always been an issue for him. If he can just maintain minimal drops, he's going to continually move the chains. He's going to help. He's going to give Bryce that.
Can he take the ability? He's the guy now.
Yeah.
It ain't nobody else. He was over there.
He was still
the guy,
he was
but
still the guy last year.
Higgins was emerging as the guy.
Yes, correct.
That's where more balls were going, and Deontay Johnson was having his crybaby fit and all that other stuff, which got in the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a number one receiver in this league, though.
He is, for sure.
I mean, this is the year to prove it, right?
I mean, he's proved it so far.
He has not. Stop it. Has not.
Afterwards, go look at his numbers.
Bro, he has not proven anything that he's number one in this league.
So
if he's proven, they would have paid him because they paid Antonio Brown.
They did.
Even you pay a man, you keep a man.
You pay a man, you keep him until he becomes a problem, and then you get rid of him.
Why was he a problem?
It's that diva attitude.
CTE is a hell of a thing.
I don't know if he's a number one. He had a problem because he wanted to pay it again, didn't he? Or was he just not getting the ball?
No, I think the emergence of Pickens kind of allowed them to be able to move him.
Okay.
But personally, in this game, I don't like Olave. I feel like J.C. Horn is healthy.
Yeah, I don't like Carr, so I'm with you on that.
And I think it's just more so this could be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't see any high score, and I don't think a team even breaks 30 in this game, honestly.
I question if either team breaks 20.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carolina leans on the run. You like Bryce Young, so for you think they're passing it a lot more. I think they lean on the run.
That's fair.
They got Chubba Hubba, and then
Miles Sanders.
I was gonna say they added the addition of Miles Sanders. Guys.
Sanders was awful last year.
He was awful last year. Guys, if Miles Sanders is available in any of your leagues, go get him right now. I promise you, bro. I promise you. Chubba Hubba, he takes a load, but it's always split backfield with him. It has always been split backfield with him. I think Carolina leans on the run.
Sanders was benched last year.
Sanders will come back. I'm telling you. If he's available, go get him.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to the next game then. Minnesota in the
This should be a
the
quick
New York
game.
Giants.
This should be a quick game for me.
It is what it is. I do like Singletary in this game. I don't think it's going to be an exciting game, to be honest. I like Singletary. I just think he's kind of that guy that kind of does it all, and he's going to have to because they have nothing else.
Yeah, I like Aaron Jones from Minnesota.
See, I don't like Aaron Jones.
I like him. I think they lean heavy on him. Darnold, yeah, he's going to pass a little bit, but I think it's going to be more run-based. Aaron Jones can catch the ball out of the backfield. I don't like anybody from the Giants. I don't like the Giants at all this year until they switch to quarterback.
Ooh.
That's it. Hot
right.
take until they switch to quarterback.
There's not a lot of people that like Danny Dimes, but it's all right. So that's it for the 1 o'clock games. 4 o'clock games.
Yep.
Got some interesting ones.
4 o'clocks are better than
Raiders
1
and
o'clocks.
Chargers. In this game, I'd love me some Zamir White.
I think we like running backs this game.
I know the Chargers were pretty good against the running backs last year, but if you look at what Zamir White did the last month of the season, they arguably they balked up a little bit on the line. You bring in a guy like Gardner Minshew, who is like a legit threat in the passing game. Like, you can't just put 8 in the box.
Right.
Plus, you have Devontae Adams outside. I think Zamir White could feast today.
Yep, I agree with that. Like I said, I think we like both running backs because I'm going to go on the other side with the Chargers. I'm going to go Gus Edwards, which I think a lot of people are sleeping on him as well. I go Gus Edwards because the head coach. The head coach has always, which is Harbaugh.
Harbaugh likes to run. Plus, they still have
every level he's ever played. It's always been, I want to start everything with the run.
Yes.
If I can get the run going, I can get everything else running.
So, in hindsight, Dobbins is interesting as well. It's just what guy is going to establish himself as the number one guy. Plus, they don't really have, like, they invested the first in Quentin Johnston last year. Don't know if that's going to end up working out.
Receiver-wise.
They drafted McConkey, which I like McConkey. I feel like he's going to work well with Herbert, but this is also his first NFL game.
Yeah, Herbert, but I think Jim, khaki pants over there, I don't think he's looking at the NFL as, all right, I got this superstar quarterback and I need to throw the ball.
So
he's looking at it as how he looked at Michigan, bro.
Yeah, well, you are correct. He knows he has a legit dude in Herbert, but he's not. But he's gonna open up the run.
I'm not gonna use.
He's gonna use the run to open up the pass. Because he knows you have to do that in the NFL. You can get away with not doing that in college.
I'm not saying he's not gonna throw the ball, but I'm saying it's going to be. I think this is going to be more run heavy than a lot of people think. That they drafted an offensive lineman.
Yeah,
bro.
Joe Alt is
come on,
pretty damn good.
They didn't draft him and then to get rid of their receivers. You know what I'm saying? They drafted them to get that run game started. Like you said, it could be Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins. It just depends on who goes off. I'm gonna go with Gus Edwards because it was the same thing in Baltimore, and he was always the lead back on that because J.K. was hurt. So I don't know what else to take there. So I like Gus Edwards this game.
So as far as this game stuff, I don't like. There's not really a ton, but like there's not a ton I like for sure to start, but there's not a ton I don't like.
Yeah.
So like I'm not like it's to bring anything up.
I think it's a good game.
Yeah, I think should be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Whether it's high scoring, low scoring, or whatever.
Yeah.
We got Denver and Seattle up next.
Hey, Bo Nix, shout out. That guy's like 50.
I think he's like 20.
Yeah, I mean he just played a lot of college ball.
And he's just looking to build on the preseason. He looked great in the preseason.
He looked phenomenal.
It's preseason. Kenny Pickett looked great in the preseason last year. Look how that worked.
Jamar Chase is active.
Yes, I did see that.
Active. Okay. Shout out to Jamar Chase.
But I love JSN in this game.
You love who?
Like JSN.
Oh yeah.
I like DK as well. But those firmly come down to Geno. If Geno can bounce back, he had a rough year last year. Mm-hmm. Like if he can bounce back from that, like it's kind of go time.
Oh, I love Geno.
I'm not a big Geno fan, but
I love him for Seattle. I don't love him anywhere else. He's the right fit, and they're building to help him, not to hurt him.
And everything I've been reading, DK could have a monster year this year,
and I think he does, which brings me into the guy I like.
That's
today.
That's why I think the other two guys.
Yes.
JSN
so you're going with JSN. I'm gonna go with Lockett. I just think Lockett is more proven in the league as far as right now.
And he's gonna cook in the slot.
He's gonna
this year.
Cook, and he's just no one's even thinking about him, bro.
No,
like there's DK and what's JSN, bro. That's all that they're really thinking about right now. I love Lockett in this game.
Plus, they have a couple guys in the backfield that can tote the ball as well.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff's going to be open. It's just whether or not Geno can hit it.
Lockett has always been a sleeper, and I'm taking him again as a sleeper. I like receivers in this game big time, so which brings me to the other side of the ball. Back to that side of the ball. I love Sutton. You said Nick's looked good. If Nick's this is going to be his favorite target.
It has to, because they have nothing else. That's part of the reason why I don't like Denver's receivers today, just because Sutton is going to be the focus. So they're going to look, and Seattle has good corners.
They do. Really good corners.
Weatherspoon and who they have another guy that was drafted the same year as Sauce. I can't think of his name, but they have two shutdown corners. So it's like I'm not touching receivers for Denver at all this game, even Sutton. Like he can sit on the bench for a week if I feel like I have either as good of options, if not better.
If I had Sutton, I'll flex him this game.
Ooh.
Bro, you're sold on Bo Nix, right?
No,
Or you
I'm
just
not
like the
sold.
preseason?
I just want to see if he can build on what he did.
Okay,
in the preseason.
okay. I got some stock in. I'll put some stock in Bo Nix. You know,
See, I'm only sold on one quarterback so far, but
in the whole league.
no, one rookie quarterback.
Okay, we can get there.
And
But-
we've already gone there.
Yeah. So yeah, I would flex Sutton. So I'm good there.
Yeah, we're good. And this is a fun one. Washington and Tampa.
This guy.
Oh.
You like Baker Mayfield.
All right. So do you want to know why I like Baker Mayfield?
Come on.
He had a career best year last year as far as I think yards and I think touchdowns as well.
When has Baker Mayfield had 2 back-to-back assistant great years?
He got hurt the second. He got hurt that.
When has Baker Mayfield had 2 consecutive back-to-back good years?
I'm not saying Baker's going to have a phenomenal year again, but
I don't like him in this game.
So do you want to know why I love him in this game?
Why?
Who gave up the most fantasy points to quarterbacks last year? That was the Washington Commanders.
Under who?
Oh, it don't matter.
It does.
What did they do to address it?
Dan Quinn.
That's great, but he's the head coach, not the defensive coordinator.
Again, we talked about this before the show.
He's not running the defense.
Yeah, he is. At the end of the day, he's still running the defense.
So he has input on it, but he's not running the defense.
At the end of the day, he's still. I'm telling you.
And I know they brought in some guys. They brought in Jeremy Chin. They brought in Frankie Louvu, both from Carolina. And they brought in some other guys, but
I'm not saying that Washington is going to be almighty.
But a guy we talked about before the show, Mike Evans, he's still in Tampa. Dude can still ball out.
Yeah.
So Baker's going to just chuck it and be like, Evans has got to be down there somewhere.
Where do you put Baker Mayfield on your fantasy quarterbacks for today? For today, not overall, just today.
For today,
and matchup wise,
between probably 10 to 15, that range.
I'll put him top 20, and he's 20.
Oof.
I'll put top 20, and he's 20, bro. I've been through the Baker Mayfield experience, and I know he's got a better headset and everything, but from his rookie year, bro, he blew up. And yes, I'm a little slighted, guys. I'm a Browns fan, but he blew up. That offseason, he did no work. Mm-hmm. He did no work. He thought it was going to be easy.
And he struggled year 2.
But then came back.
But then year 3 was great.
Came back year 3 was great.
But he's learned. I guarantee you he's learned from it.
Year 4 was what?
They didn't pull him when they should have with the shoulder injury.
They didn't pull him. That's what you think. Baker Mayfield was so consistent on trying to make buku money that he didn't want to sit out and have the surgery. Anyways, that's beside the point.
But see, you're the team, like you're the coach, you're the GM, you're the owner. It's like, we got to look at the future. It's not just about this year.
I understand that, but Kevin Stefanski again didn't draft him. Andrew Berry didn't draft him. They were gifted him as when they came into the team. They knew he couldn't get over the hump, but if he would have just sat out and had that surgery, we ain't even talking about Deshaun Watson.
No,
we talking about 6.
Still there.
We still talking about 6.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? That ego. If he ain't changing that ego, that's where I'm saying. I think his ego just got bigger from last year because what he did last year, and he just got paid.
If you're a quarterback without an ego, you shouldn't be in the league. If you don't have an ego and you're,
I'm not
you're
saying
in the NFL,
you shouldn't have an ego. You shouldn't have Baker Mayfield's ego. Bro, he has to show me he can put 2 years back to back together before I take him.
That's fair. But for this week, I like Baker a lot.
I like Dan Quinn to show his stuff in this game. I like him to show his stuff. You don't like the quarterback that Dan.
I want to see. It's one of those things.
I love him.
It's kind of wait and see. Daniel's skill set is great, but it's RG3.
I think he's get 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing.
Damn.
I like Washington in this game. I love Dan Quinn as a coach all the way.
Tampa secondary is good. Like
Tampa, dude, they're old. Except their safety. Everybody else is old, bro.
It's fair. So you like, I know. I'm not a fan of him, but you like McLaurin.
I love Scary Terry this year, guys. I think this is the year that everybody thought he was going to be having, before, when he first got drafted, they're number 1. I think this is a quarterback he can finally gel with and be like, all right, bro, now we can start picking things up. I'm your number 1 guy. Look for me. Then look for everybody else. I got your back. You settle down. If you got to hit a tight end every now and then. But Scary Terry, He's got that nickname for a reason. He ain't no slouch, bro.
Yeah, well, he hasn't been scary for a few years. So.
Hey, he still put up numbers with horrible quarterbacks.
Again,
horrible quarterbacks and put up numbers.
It's kind of wait and see.
I love him today. I'm starting him.
All right. So Sunday Night Football, it's a good one. It's a wild card rematch from last year. And I'm really curious to see if the Lions can build off of being this close to the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah. So I love the Rams storyline in this game.
Okay.
I liked it going into the playoffs as well with Stafford coming back to Detroit, but I knew he wasn't going to be able to come that. I think this is not as big of his moment as the playoff game. No. And I like the additions, kind of. I mean, I like Blake Corum coming out. I think that helps them a little bit. I think they beefed up their offensive line a little bit. I could be mistaken on that. But I love Stafford to go back into Detroit and show them what's up. mean, Cooper Kupp, he didn't have his best year last year either.
Coming back from injury, plus the emergence of Puka didn't help. But Kupp should be fine this year.
We got a healthy Kupp. We got a healthy Puka now because he wasn't all the way healthy either.
He was dinged up late last year.
I think I like the Rams in this game, and I really like Kupp. I really like Kupp in this game. I think Kupp gets back to Cooper Kupp that everybody knew, and he was first round draft pick in fantasy.
Well, we'll see.
I like him this year. I think he comes back.
We'll see. See, I love Jared Goff.
You like Goff?
Like this guy is being ranked anywhere between 12 to 18 as far as quarterbacks go. Dude,
so you're saying he slept on?
He was 4th in scoring last year.
Are we saying Jared Goff slept on?
100%.
You just said it, guys. 100%. Jared Goff is being slept on this year. Okay.
Second in the league in yards, 4th in touchdowns. Like, his passer rating was...
Break it down, then.
His passer rating was phenomenal last year for being a, system quarterback.
Right.
Like, Jared Goff has become a leader that, like, he's taken the reins of this team and is like, yeah, let's ride. I'm ready to go. Let's get this thing done.
Funny thing is, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think he is being slept on.
And the reason I like him, Rams gave up the 5th most points to quarterbacks last year.
I think this is a high-scoring game, and I think Stafford. It comes down to Stafford. If the Rams get the last play, I think Stafford puts them over the map, and it's going to be ugly for Detroit fans in Detroit. And I love Detroit. I wanted it to be a Cleveland and a Detroit Super Bowl one day. So I love you guys out there, but that's what it is.
And I know you like Montgomery in this game.
Yeah.
But I don't like Gibbs. And part of it is...
Yeah, I don't like Gibbs in this game either.
He's not
fully healthy.
He's not fully healthy, and the Rams gave up the least amount of points to running backs last year.
Yeah.
I know he kind of like he had that long touchdown against the Rams, and like he kind of like busted out in the playoffs. So you're like...
That was the Rams with Aaron Donald, though.
No, Aaron Donald.
That is true. But
I think...
So they drafted a couple kids last year that got significant playing time. I think one of them was like 2nd or 3rd in defensive player rookie of the year.
I like Braden Fisk too. I think that was a good pick.
Fisk is solid. He's going to play outside backer for him, which it worked because they're running a 3-4, so he's going to be coming off the edge. But like, I still think that defensive philosophy up front is going to stay the same even without Donald. I know it's a big shoes to fill, but Donald was even starting to slip the last year or two.
Yeah, I think I still don't like their defensive line. I don't like the Rams' defensive line. I just like their offense. I do,
but it's got to get seasoned.
I think Montgomery has a huge game for Detroit this game. That's why I think they stay in it, because I think he shows up and when Gibbs not 100%. Dan Campbell loves Montgomery, bro. Yeah. He's physical. He's hard-nosed. They're like the same person.
Yeah.
So that's who I like in that game.
Gotcha. All right, so last game of the week is the Monday night game. It's an interesting one. Jets and Niners. Rodgers returns, and 49ers still trying to get number 6.
Can we get a good look at Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform?
I mean, it should be more than 4 plays this year.
My gosh.
But it's weird. I don't like the Jets special or defense in this game. I just feel like...
No, not at all.
I don't think it's so much going to be high scoring. I think the Niners are just going to get after it and not allow them to make the big plays in this game.
And I do think overall the Jets will be top 5 defense in fantasy at the end. I
don't think so. I think last year was almost too they did too well to where they're going to come back down to earth and be like right around.
I think 10. If Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, I think that helps them
potentially.
So I like Breece Hall in this game.
I like Breece Hall every game.
But yeah, I mean, this is an obvious pick, guys. Yes, Breece Hall.
If you got him, start him.
If you got him, start him.
And honestly, the same thing. Like I know you like Ayuk as well.
Yes, which is not not everybody sold on him.
I mean, I have him as a top 12 receiver in the NFL.
I do too. I'm saying a lot of people is not sold on him for this game.
They
think he's on the pitch couch, Ayuk, right, or stay on that side.
I'll say this. So I feel like Sauce is probably going to be on one side of the field, and then if Ayuk's on the other side, that's when he's going to get his tutty.
Okay.
So that's probably the safest bet.
Okay. I would, and I have Ayuk, and I'm thinking about benching him just because Kyle Shanahan came out and said, I'll be surprised if he gets a full workload. And I think Kyle Shanahan...
Which that tells me it's 100 and a touchdown for
I think Kyle Shanahan is petty.
Oh, he is. Always has been.
I think he doesn't even look his way a couple times because he made him wait for nothing. This holdout that he had out, for what? It's the same amount that was been on the table.
It was more.
No, it's the same. It was more up front. It's the same everything else, bro. It's the same. He got guaranteed more, like, that day. His signing bonus. It's like, come on, bro. You held out for nothing. You didn't win the holdout. You did not win the holdout.
I mean, Ayuk kind of did.
Ayuk did not win that holdout.
He got more guaranteed money. You can't tell me he didn't win the holdout.
Bro, he did not win
the guarantee.
He held out for nothing.
The guarantee
is
everything.
Anybody, bro. Ask anybody. He held out for nothing.
But so a position we haven't touched on yet, kickers. I love Jake Moody in this game. I think he gets 3 field goals.
If you ain't got no points, I mean, a point every 10 yards for kicker, I can care less about kickers, guys. We can go. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Kickers
I do have a league.
Too.
Yeah, I know.
Kickers are people too,
and that's why I have a league that I am in control over, and I made kickers? That. Yeah, I had a kicker every yard is a point. So 10-yard field goal. No, every 10 yards is a point.
So it's a point.
Yeah,
one, okay.
Yes, it's a point every 10 yards. Like the quarterback.
I actually like that.
I like that because kickers matter, guys. Yeah. I love kickers.
So many of those 39-yarders aren't just 3 points.
You know what I'm saying? So I made it that way. But in regular standard leagues, PPR, I mean, guys, we can go kicker every other week. We don't. Yeah, you can slot a kicker. You like Jake Moody. If you got Jake Moody, obviously start him because I do like the Jets
There's no
defense.
guarantee. He could be a free agent right now, too.
Yeah.
But that wraps it up.
Yeah, I think it was a great first week, man.
Yeah.
I think we get better, too, as the time goes by. So, guys, bear with us. You know, it was our first week together. He's a Pittsburgh guy. I'm a Cleveland guy. So, we got to figure some things out, you know.
But thanks for watching, and hopefully you tune in next week.
See you next week.